Bene Shik Adol Shidina also Chia Ani Adona and Ishling Odol Bashichin, Squid cheat me a dash che, Kabahan a dashinella, Aquat Alison and Ishla, She Shandine Parishinitia. Good morning, everybody, and happy Veterans Day. Today, we would like to welcome you from the Office of the President and Vice President to celebrate Veterans Day. My name is Shandine Parrish, and I served as Miss Navajo Nation from 2019 to 2021, and it's my honor to be here with all of you. Today, we celebrate all of our veterans who served in our armed forces, our servicemen and our servicewomen, and we thank them for their selfless service. We also recognize our family members who support our servicemen and servicewomen. Thank you all for protecting our great nation, our country, and our way of life. Today, we would, from the Office of the President and Vice President, we have a couple speakers of leadership and from your your from local community members who will share a message today. And I wanted to again thank everybody for joining us on Facebook Live. And I now would like to introduce our president of the Navajo Nation, Jonathan Nez, and the First Lady of the Navajo Nation, Cecilia Nez, to open up our Veterans Day special here at the Office of the President and Vice President.
Good morning, everybody. Jonathan Nez here, Navajo Nation President, with my wife, Cecilia Nez, First Lady of the Navajo Nation. We want to let all our veterans know thank you for your service and welcome home to your homeland here on the Navajo Nation. Today is about remembering those who have served, and let's not also forget those that are serving all over the country, on the other side of the world. Throughout the Navajo Nation, all over the United States of America, probably all over the world, people are honoring their veterans today. So happy Veterans Day. Arokoan hitsalao so e behni di ja konde akwi jishi e ya an hitsalao so bedelni. Arok addo benanishidil inigido di sladin haut zojik benanishidil inigido ton nanjedo e shido hitsalao so e di bedelni. Aro he winzen jun khanda so bado nkhanda sholnesh e benach e an he danitsno konde khido ado kondo anche adanitsno kon yelthish enollini aro di denebeki apakao shin hota sa datlen le gits ile de do kota sa le do ko Utah do ero bakai je aje tsla so dan lengi e satazli benach shi e da do yada tito le so en he kodo he dan hidi ni do le di Washington has ajido accelerated lenigin khanda leshigishi kudo hanen hiji kude leto le so ishi ya he do Navajo code talkers do edo he kun he code talkers andi ni hilta da halonigi he shi dabdi ni do le lijin kha ni zad ya chuda yos I do banache ya kun da hanelna da hatna chudi kun de nebeki apakao ya Nije all iltoni na antin e nasit itolel. Ado kon ya di le bakagish kliji ni klinigi bilagana da jo e hot e bakai je di alkida na altsosana hadel ya don hije ka de ya nije kodo de nani klini e ya Washington ka nature to le di no hot an hije ka de ya jo e andi di je e andi hot e khadet ane even nach enas deni kashi enoslini do kon Janice Benali do kon khanatsa na dina kinache kuje US Navy je agent nan khana pa do na khana na sho kuje dwoji bi toje ajiket on na khanatsa ba hajo Janice aro la she kon Nihina nishida la la shina khe aje an das na shado na khanda pa ado ko nano khaido even nach e andi shi ska nach ado kut e ya andi ni hitzelal so kuj ni Washington as anje e ka nalwo ba heni tsin ado ni do kodo shi che Andrew Kelly e di ni je na zado e do di ni je na al tegi e do bedej ni do les do kodoshi e ya he da bedi ni do les aje is haj is inades inigido is hadaj jegi keidan linigi ni hido atran da so ba anotsko zlat so ni ke aje e ya he da bedi ni do les. I just want to just say again thank you to our veterans. 1868 was the treaty that we entered into with the United States government. We have a special relationship, and with that treaty, the Navajo people said we are gonna protect the United States of America. And to this day, ladies and gentlemen, our veterans have honored that agreement, that sacred agreement, to help the United States of America. Let me also just step back and just remind everyone about the Navajo people. We've helped, we contributed great things to the country. And you know what? We even assisted in expanding democracy all over the world. Today there's a summit happening in Egypt about climate change, about the future of this world. And what the Navajo people have done is utilize our language to help win many battles, help World War I, World War II, and utilize our way of life teaching to continue making this country free, and we appreciate our veterans, and one of the other things that many people don't take into consideration is the uranium that was extracted from the Navajo Nation to make weapons, to expand democracy. And we remind our federal partners, federal friends in Washington, D.C. that, we've contributed greatly to democracy here in this world. And we just recently welcomed back Janice Benally, 22 years in the U.S. Navy. I know there are many, many others who have served this great country, served the military in decades and many years of service, and they have come home. We welcome you back home to the Navajo Nation, and you continue to serve. You continue to serve our great nation here on Navajo. And I know I mentioned to Janice too that, these younger veterans, we need your help. We need your help. We need you to be involved in our government. We need to be able to, help build homes here on the Navajo Nation. Housing manufacturing facilities will be going up to build homes for our veterans. Just recently, we did a groundbreaking for a $29 million Navajo Warriors nursing home, redone the housing trust fund so that we could be able to build homes for our veterans. And we lost a great warrior. We lost many great warriors throughout our time here in Window Rock. And just recently, Andrew Kelly from Tuba City, we honor him and we thank him for his service, and many others. And we also want to say a special thank you to the Navajo Hopi Honor Riders for their work in helping welcome our warriors back to the Navajo Nation, and also the work that they're doing for the families, Gold Star mothers, Blue Star families, and we just are very, very excited for the future of the veterans program here on the Navajo Nation. But to all our veterans today, thank you for your service. Welcome home. God bless you. God bless our country here, United States of America. Of course, God bless our great Navajo Nation. I'm going to turn some time over to my wife, the First Lady, Cecilia Nez, to say a few words. Cecilia?
Oh, yeah, good morning, everyone. Shaya Cecilia Nez, the initiate Kabaha initiate, Zashana Bashichin, Arana Kaidana, Dashina Lodashiche. And yes, happy Veterans Day all across Navajo land and across the United States of America. And then, of course, to all our people who served and volunteered and to spend time with our armed forces. That's absolutely commendable, and we thank you for taking the time to do that and making the choice to do that. And then, of course, a lot of little kids look up to all of you, and I know, just speaking to younger children, and they always have those options of whether they can go to higher education and go to work, or and then there's the military option. So a lot of you are role models for them, and then when you do, after you fulfill your service there, you come back, and a lot of you are contributing members to the communities that you live in, and it could be anywhere on Navajo land or even beyond. And so that's something that we appreciate you for, and there's a lot of good skills to pick up from volunteering in the military service. And so thank you again for your contributions to all of us here in the United States of America. And of course, we're so proud of you from Navajo Nation. And thank you again. And happy Veterans Day. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, First Lady of the Navajo Nation. And we appreciate everything that the veterans organizations have done for the Navajo Nation. We also want to just say, enjoy your day. Those events that are happening all over the Navajo Nation. Some are, happening. You're probably attending some off the Navajo Nation. Just be careful and always remember those who have served. And, we're still in a pandemic, yes. And we also appreciate all those veterans who are now maybe police officers or work in the healthcare field. And you all were on the front lines once again here on the Navajo Nation, pushing back on COVID-19. And because of each and every one of you, all of you, not just veterans, but all those frontline workers, we appreciate it. And we appreciate your service to the great Navajo Nation. So God bless you, God bless America, and God bless our great Navajo Nation. Thank you so much.
Jonathan Nez, Dole, First Lady Cecilia Nez, for your message this morning. It is good to hear words of inspiration and to instill the importance of honoring our veterans and supporting our veterans through our Veterans Administration and through our local organizations in our communities. I know today all across the Navajo Nation there are plenty of veterans recognition events in honor of Veterans Day, and it's a beautiful thing that we can come back together safely and honor our veterans who have sacrificed so much to protect us, to protect our way of life, and to ensure that we can continue building a stronger nation for the next generations. Thank you, President Nez, for your leadership and for your words this morning, and also to First Lady Cecilia Nez. At this time, we will welcome to the Office of the President, Vice President, Veterans Day recognition, the Veterans Administration Division Director, James Orline, and also the Deputy Director, Hubert Smith.
Good morning. This is Jim Zwerline. I'm the Executive Director of the Navajo Nation Veterans Administration and a Marine Corps Gunnery Sergeant. I would like to thank you all for listening in on our virtual Veterans Day presentation this morning. Veterans Day, observed annually on November 11th, is a tribute to military veterans who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces, not to be confused with Memorial Day, which honors those who died while in service. Veterans Day honors all military veterans, including those who still are with us today. It's a holiday honoring men and women who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces on the anniversary of the end of World War I. Veterans Day, originally celebrated as Armistice Day, was first issued on November 11th, 1919, a year after the end of World War I. The purpose of Armistice Day was to honor the fallen soldiers of the Great War and for their sacrifice and bravery. With the approval of legislation on June 1st, 1954, November 11th became a day to honor American veterans of all wars. The United States Senate Resolution 143, which was passed on August 4th, 2001, designated the week of November 11th through November 17th, 2001, as Veterans Awareness Week. The resolution called for educational efforts dedicated to elementary and secondary school students concerning the contributions and services of veterans. I wanted to share with you some of the statistics on our nation's veterans today. There are 19.5 million veterans, estimated to be the number of veterans living in the United States today. Of those, 14,000 are estimated to be Navajo veterans. 9 million of those veterans are over the age of 65. Just over 5 million of those veterans are receiving disability compensation. More than 2 million of those veterans are female service members. Just over 500,000 veterans remain from World War II. 11% of our total veteran population are experiencing homelessness, and 50% of those veterans who are experiencing homelessness are also suffering with mental illness like post-traumatic stress. So why is Veterans Day important? First, it's a chance to thank people for risking their lives to defend America. An estimated 20% of veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan suffer from post-traumatic stress or major depression. According to government statistics, you'd be surprised at how much it means to me, to we who are veterans, to feel valued by civilians for our services and sacrifices. Second, it's a chance to reflect on the importance of peace. While our military is often thought of in a war context, most veterans will tell you that they risk their lives to defend our fundamental freedoms and that they value peace much more highly than war. Very few who have seen the real horror of war are anxious to rush into it, and Veterans Day encourages all of us to reflect on the value of harmony in our daily interactions and lives. And third, it draws attention to the challenges facing many veterans. Veterans face disproportionate rates of homelessness deficits in education and achievement, a struggle to find employment, and often have to deal with devastating wounds. In many cases, post-traumatic stress makes it hard for them to reintegrate into regular society. By understanding these challenges, we can all reach across those divides and make sure veterans have the best possible chance of having a healthy and fulfilling life after their service. At the Navajo Nation Veterans Administration, we strive to treat every veteran and every day as though it's Veterans Day. On this particular day, we remember and pay tribute to all who have served in our nation's armed forces, at home and abroad, at war and during peacetime. And to all of my brothers and sisters in arms, welcome home and enjoy the day. Thank you.
Yad shikiro should neda no simigi, koroshi all sison hit zitole. Aro kwagi tilal so, nihid ninigi ishibe on niho kwagi, a yahat and hidit nidole. Aro nslinigi yat na bitlin slonk in ani basis chin, lake in hozondo aisi nasha. Aro kodo, bishit ojinigi ya, Hubert Smithianshia. Aro na nishigi ya. Deputy Director of Navajo Nation Veterans Administration, Aji Eya Nhaishnish. Akokado, Mr. James Worline, Shonaj and Hitcha Hadzi, Adi Eya, a Yahan, he did no Kodo, and Hitcha Neat Azole. Ado Tokoro, Nsapa Igi Eya, United States Marine Corps Yolganja Eya, Dina Hel Hansaba. Ako, Eshito, Benya Yahan Kidistinole. Aron hilat kitsalat soda no thini aro hisani don he is twi IEC hihan hidi nirole aro tsalal son khaba da yani to he is twi don and hisani a hihat dan hidi nirole aro chinda no thini to Hehe, Nimaron Hija, a Joba da Holian Hadasla. Aro Kurota Oyo Altiso Ichehadzia. Laan Hitalaso IC Hawan Bahata Denoya Hadzi. Aro Bajen Dahoitna. Le IC does ba edi Adashi IC Tadadza do bitsits in Bajadahadis na o IC Kendakri. Ako Elta Yahadzi. Ishi ben na laan hitsalal so IC lo Trada de Kaho da Inkleya. Oshi Hehan Hadabado Nidoli. IC Bajen the Hoti. Aro could only Navajo Nation Veterans Administration Holiendo ya do ya alla anachin nhedil nita a quidje nchadenil nisto a chet dan hidi no gron handil nish hawan don hande nel aro kwagil to VA benefits and claims yol yeni gil to IEC nha bandil nish odelia a koshi e kwagi IEC o chehan hidi nidolil aro tsalat soda no lini happy Veterans Day.
A Ahiyehet to our Division Director and our Deputy Division Director of the Navajo Nation Veterans Administration. Thank you for continuously fighting and working with all of our veterans on the Navajo Nation to ensure that they are heard and that they're seen and that they're supported. Your work is very important on the Navajo Nation, and it sets an example for the rest of the tribes in the entire United States, because all veterans should be serviced and supported and honored. So thank you to our division director and our deputy division director for their message today. It was heartfelt and appreciated. Thank you. At this time, we would also like to welcome a few more division directors who offered their message of appreciation and admiration for our Navajo Nation veterans. Next, we will have Dr. Jill Jim, who is a division director for the Department of Health here on the Navajo Nation. Dr. Jill Jim?
Yad eshk edo shadane she Dr. Jill Jiminchke. Don ne nishane look on nishon tachini bashashin. Ishe dashache dot as a fane dashanala ado na dis ade icy nasha. Ado it's ispa hanje bigadin she dot DJ o kwadi or the veterans. Here all they need also. I just want to go ahead and thank the veterans for their service and time and for protecting us and everyone in the United States for all that they have done. And we appreciate the mothers of the veterans and the families as well. And we just want to let you know that we appreciate your service, and I hope you also enjoy your day and celebrating with your families and communities across the Navajo Nation.
Dr. Jill Jim, thank you for your kind words this morning and expressing your appreciation for all of our veterans. Dr. Jill Jim had a crucial job during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Navajo Nation really worked its sovereignty in providing our own guidelines here on the Navajo Nation while working with the federal government and making sure that we could combine the resources and really serve the entirety of the Navajo Nation. And it, as a former Miss Navajo who also worked during the pandemic, it is inspiring and very it fills my heart to know that leaders that I look up to, that we all look up to, take the time to share a message of admiration for our veterans. I think that today is filled with full of love and respect for our veterans today. So thank you, Dr. Jill Jim, for your message today. Now we will hear from our Division Director from the Division of Human Resources, Dr. Fowler. She will provide us her Veterans Day message today.
Yad shaz twi Suzani, zitil kent doshit kent. Dije do aquije kon, talalso benil ni do ba ni zin. Ado shal chinish away the noslini. Nihinanish ollai, nihich anda bahi do nihich anda so bai, echehe ba ni zin. Hot quado, nihinizo quade, the nebi kayate, wanitlo. Oko yaat eho nasbo netnije. Betahol banto kesi it ado be naho ado le do nasbo netnije be nanol ido ado be sit nadinotsin do le adon hitodizini ado agede quije etatoda dilzin do nachatoda dilzin oko na hehe shalchine do anoltro tla shane kodo naka alchine da hollodo ni hijonne adon hito ken hinalike do altron betro jet dan lini do ba hehe dini do le oko yego da halian don hizad yego be da hito ben da hol na shady Perfilia Valerie and she my dishkin shot to the cheat bashin trapa edashit ash edashanale trotus ahol yeda ade is it a shike kana ha.
Yeah, Dr. Fowler, thank you for your words of support and appreciation for our veterans and their service to our country and to protecting our Navajo Nation. Thank you to the division directors who provided their message, and thank you to President Nez and First Lady Cecilia Fowler, and First Lady Cecilia Nez for their message today. And now today to our last message, a part of today's program will be from our Miss Navajo Nation, Valentina Clitso. She was selected as Miss Navajo this past September, and we are thrilled to watch her grow. And thank you again, Miss Navajo, for your message today.
Yad kodo da inos shinat ani eskhasi to slaw to da noslini she Valentina Klitso yenishye todich eatni nishlim but ahni bashish chin to a khanet da she shin da shinale zilin brande nasha kodo nihislaw to ba sasidli do be delni do di jimpaho Akonded just salto da nolido nihinan nishidaus do sae nihinan nishidaus sa. Ashi ante dal yehi Marine Corps, Navy, Army, Air Force, do Coast Guard. Dal yehi bandashos nishdo kon hastan bakate ati nihichan dahba. Ehehe salafto da nothini koigin nihinan nishidaus ini yisi ba do salafto bekaten da so zini alto ehehe da nihidadesh nil.
Shadeja Valentina well, thank you everybody for joining us today on the Office of the President and Vice President Facebook Live for taking the time to honor our veterans on the Navajo Nation and to express our appreciation for their dedication to service. It's inspiring to watch and to grow up and to see that for myself. My father is a Marine Corps veteran, and my grandfather was a Navajo code talker. And there are teachings in the military that have applied to our children, and a lot of that discipline has allowed many of our leaders to raise the next generation of our people. And, you know, our veterans have given us so much, not only protection, but also providing us guidance for our future and the future generations to come. And again, I cannot express my appreciation for our veterans enough. I know that there are residual effects from your service, and I pray we'll continue to pray for all of your healing and the understanding that needs to come in while we work through those issues. But again, I would like to thank our President Jonathan Nez, and our First Lady, Cecilia Nez, for their message earlier, and also our division directors, James Zorline, Dr. Jill Jim, and Dr. Fowler, and our Deputy Division Director, Hubert Smith, for their messages, and Ms. Navajo for taking the time to share her admiration for our veterans. Today, I wish everybody a happy Veterans Day, and we all pray for our nation. Have a great Veterans Day. Ahiyehet.